Let's start the session in a 30 seconds.
Yeah, already
Uh,
YouTube streaming started. No problem. We
yeah,
can start session now.
Mahesh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Please
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Sham and Ganesh and all. Yeah, hello everyone. This is Mahesh here. Our team, DPWD, Diksuchi for Persons with Disability, is welcoming you all wholeheartedly to this wonderful session on accessibility of financial management by Rahul ji. Let me explain the agenda for today's session. First of all, we have introduction and for some technical stuff to all the participants. Second one, we have introduction about the speaker by one of our teammate, Mr. Venkatesh Nayak. Third one, we will have a speaker speech on today's topic. Next one, we have a question answer session. Directly, you can ask the question to the speaker. After that, one of our teammate will give a vote of thanks to all. After that, we will have a general discussion over there regarding our events and all. We will directly will talk with the participants. As you all know, we should everyone should have financial awareness, and money makes many things. As we all know, no, how the financial decisions make a crucial role in our day-to-day life. By the way, I'm reminding one beautiful quotation by Bill Gates. If you are born poor, it is not your mistake. But if you die poor, it is your mistake. Thank you. Yeah, our team is very happy to know that you people are showing lot of interest to participate in this productive session. Uh, we are very thankful to each and everyone for spreading and circulating this message in many WhatsApp groups and to well-known people. As you all know, our team has been conducting several sessions on different themes. This is the ninth one. This we so far we conducted 9 webinars, and this is going to be the 10th one. Thank you all for your support, encouragement, and active participation in the session. We are also streaming this session in YouTube. You can listen all our previous sessions in YouTube, and it's a small request to all the participants to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diksuchi for persons with disability, and also you can subscribe to our email e-newsletter by visiting our website www.dpwd.org. You can receive all our upcoming future events. We are into all social media platform. You can reach us by using any social media account. We will provide all the links in Zoom chat box as well as in YouTube description box. So we have a few instructions to all the participants to run this session in a productive manner. First one, raise your hand. As you all know, we have a question and session. If you want to ask the question, just raise your hand. Then only I will allow to unmute yourself and ask the question. So you can, second one, you can also comment your question in Zoom chat box, or you can also post your question in um, Zoom YouTube comment box. One of our teammates will read on behalf of you. Now I request everyone, please join with your own name so that it will become easy to interact with you. Always try to be on mute so that it will not create any disturbance. After all, we will have a general discussion. We can give the feedback regarding the sessions, and you can directly interact with the team. Now, without any delay, now I request Venkatesh Nayak to give a brief introduction about the speaker. Venkatesh, over to you. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Mahesh. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friendship Day and belated Happy Eid and Rakhi Festival. It's a time of festivals. So I wish you a happy festival week. I'm delighted to present talk about the Rahul, who is our speaker. There is a lot to talk about Rahul. He has been doing really wonderful work. So he's been a very good at in academics. He won a gold medal in his law. He has been doing working. He has been working with the Securities Exchange Board of India as associate legal advisor with the legal advisory department in a SEBI, and he won gold medal from a prestigious Mumbai University Government Law College. And he has done his post graduation in security laws from National Institute of Security Markets, and he has done his various diploma courses in different universities and institutes. Now, still, he is doing his company secretary course and masters in MBA, and he has a CSR certification with the ICSI, which is the Institute of Company Secretaries in India. And he has been working with many NGOs and organizations for the upliftment of a disabled community. And he has been conducting webinars on advisory matters for the differently abled. Since past 18 months, he has conducted more than 35 webinars in a area of his expertise, and he is also involved with some accessibility stuff, and he is guiding through Marathi OCR with some of the organizations to read digital content with the screen readers. So it's glad to introduce about our speaker. So further no delay, I'll turn out my microphone to Mr. Rahul. So please, Rahul, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Venkatesh, for these kind words. And welcome all of you. And thank you so much, DPWD team, for inviting me here and giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you here. First and the foremost is happy Friendship Day to all of you. And I am looking at it as like today I've got so many new friends through this webinar, and all of you are, I'm able to interact with all of you here. So thank you very much once again. So as Venkatesh said, that my name is Rahul, and so there are a couple of things I want to share before I start. You can definitely ask your questions in between whenever you have questions on the chat box, of course, and one of the team members from DPWD can then ask those questions. And of course, we will also have a question answer session. But do ask questions. That is extremely important. Now, why I say so is because I don't want this session to be just another session where I will be talking about something, giving you some lecture about something. I want this session to be really interactive and something which will really make a difference in your life. While you are listening to this program, I want to look at this program, listen to this program as if how this is going to be useful for you in reality. That is extremely important, right? Information is, a lot of information is generally available on YouTube and Google and all the other platforms. Now, how this program will become different for you is up to you. And I want you to pull this program towards you as per your needs and your requirement. It is possible that we may not be able to take all of your questions. In that case, I'll be happy to share my email ID. You can write me email, and you can interact with me on social media also, so that if there's anything that I can answer later on also in the future, I would be glad to do so. So these are the basic a few things that I wanted to share with you, right? So now let's begin. See, as you all of are aware that I work with Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. And this program is a part of SEBI's initiative for investor education. As you some of you may be knowing it, that SEBI has three main objectives. The first one being development of securities market. The second one being the regulation of securities market. And the third one, the very important one, is investor protection. So today's session is mostly about investor protection, how you guys are protected indeed in today's day, especially when we are going through this unprecedented lockdown period. And in this lockdown period, I've come across many people asking me, oh, I've heard that, there's this share market is going up. Okay, so and so has invested whatever 10,000 rupees and he got 18,000 rupees in 1 week, stuff like that. So I am hearing a lot of those kind of things from people, and people are actually wanting to invest straight away, jump in the market and start investing. Now, I thought it is really important for me to share with you really as to how you should go about it. What are those do's and don'ts? What are the different products in the market? How you should start investing. So those basic things, of course, we'll start from. And depending on your questions, we will then deal with it one by one, right? So, the first and foremost thing is it's really important to understand why do we want to invest in the securities market. Now let's understand what is the securities market before that. Securities market is the market where the securities are bought and sold. Now what is security then? So security are, I don't want to get into the definition of it really, the technical definition, but what you can understand in the layman's language is security is something that is in the form of mutual funds, or in the form of bonds, or in the form of shares, and so on and so forth, right? So that's the thing, right? So just give me 5 seconds. Just give me 5 seconds. Okay, I'm so sorry. I hope I'm audible to all of you very clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Great. While we are talking about what is security, so securities are those papers. Basically, security is what? It's paper, right? It's in the form of paper or in the form of some electronic certificate, which has an underlying value. Now, don't bother too much about the technicalities of underlying value, but let's understand it this way. If we are talking about a share in a particular company, that share, that certificate, that paper does not have a value of its own. It generates value from the company that of which you are sharing, you are holding those shares, right? So the shares themselves do not have any value, right? So now, while we have understood what is securities, right, which includes shares and mutual funds and bonds and all of that stuff. Now let's understand, how does this market work? Whereas you are aware what is the market. So market is something where there are more than one seller and more than one buyer. If there's only one buyer, then we wouldn't call that place as a market, right? There has to be more like many buyers and many sellers. That's the market. Now, how is this securities market different from the general market that we have, like, for example, vegetable market? So it is, understand it this way. Securities market is a marketplace which is nowadays is in more of an online platform. Earlier, it was very difficult to really understand what is online platform, how does the online trading happen. But now, with the advent of the Flipkart and Amazon and all those online shopping websites, it's easy to understand. So these are also the online marketplaces. So it's really understand. You can now make sense of how it must be. So on the securities market, or in the layman language, sometimes we call it as share market. It's an online platform where online trading of shares happen, where there are selling and buying of the shares take place. How does that happen? I'll come to that in a moment. Okay, so this is how is the securities market. Now, while we've understand what is securities and what is securities market, now let's first understand that why you should really invest in the securities market, or why we should actually invest. Really, why should we even invest? What's the need of it? Now, I want some of you to maybe type in the chat box, and someone can just read out few answers to me as to what's your reason of investing in the market. And while you are doing that, I want you to be as specific as possible. I request you to not to give any general answers, right? Because that wouldn't help you. I want you to look at your life and then imagine why would you want to invest. So I would request one of maybe Ganesh or Mahesh, somebody to just read out few answers, and if some of you can just type in your response, I'll understand it a little better.
We will take answers later.
Okay, so no, because, all right. So if that's absolutely fine, Venkat. All right. So then while you can respond later, but while you're listening to me, all of you, I want you to really look at in your life as to why would you want to invest, because that is a very, very important question. Now you may think, oh no, I want to help the economy, I want to kind of contribute in nations, and I want to, I want high returns, big money, and all of that. That maybe that all is correct. But what is really there for you is really important. For example, some of you may be wanting to invest in the market to maybe buy a car, or maybe to buy a mobile phone, or some of you wanting to do it because you want to buy one house, maybe, and you want to, have some money for to give the down payment for your flat that you want to buy. And some of you may want to go out on a vacation and want to have some additional money so that you can then spend freely, right? Some of you may be wanting to have some loans or some bills to pay in the long term, and you want to have that money and close those loans. So there could be n number of reasons which is really related to your life, right? And that is extremely important. Why I say so is because then you will have a perspective as to when do you require that money. That's one. And then how much amount you would want on that future date. So these two things are extremely important before you really understand all these things. Otherwise, what may happen is you may not really get great value out of it, right? So that's the point. So while you must be thinking about your goals and your aims as to why you would want to have your investment the purpose of the investment and the rough estimate amount of that investment that you would want in the future for your goal, you will realize that there are some goals, okay, and you can have more than one goal. You can have more than one goal, as many as you want to have. And you will realize that your time frame to achieve that goal is not the same. It's always different. You will see that, okay, some of your goal is you want to achieve in next 1 year. Some of them you want to achieve in 2 years, in 5 years, or 10 years, and so on. There may be some of you who are wanting to have some money for your retirement, even if you are young right now, but still you may want to you may want to have that amount at the time of your retirement. So you want to plan your retirement. Some of you want to get married, right? So all this requires, although we say money is not important, but as a matter of fact, money is important, and all these requirements, all these facilities that you may want to have in the future, these expenses you may have, requires money in hand, right? So once that is done, now let's understand what are the basic fundamental requirements of money, of investment. When you do your investment, there are fundamentally 3 principles that you can have in mind. And you can apply this logic, this formula, 3-step formula, for all your investment whenever you are investing in the market or wherever you are investing. Now, the first thing is safety. Now, when I talk about safety, of course, you'll say, oh yeah, safety is important. I know what's so special about it. What's so different about it? But as a matter of fact, you will realize that although we say we all know that we want our investment to be safe, we take 2 extreme steps. First, we either do it, we want to play it extremely safe, or we take too much of risk. Now, when we say that, what happens? A lot of people hear, oh, there is this investment, invest in this amount, this particular scheme, invest 10,000, and 6 months you will get a double. Now we will say, okay, I have some 10,000 rupees with me. Let me just take it because one of my neighbor or whoever, my relative or somebody has got the money. Then what do? We actually go and just invest in that product. And what happens after 6 months is that you will find that that company is no more there, and you will feel cheated. You are actually cheated at that time. And then you say, oh no, investment is very risky. We shouldn't invest. But as a matter of fact, we forget that we have taken too much of a risk. The investment was not safe. So what investment is safe according to? I mean, now you'll ask me the question, okay, then what is a safe investment? Where I should understand, okay, this is a safe investment or this is not safe investment. So the first thing could be that investment is relatively safe. And by the way, there's nothing called extremely safe, totally safe investment and totally risky. Of course, there are totally risky investments, but that risk element is always there. But we have to manage risk. So those companies, those investment products which are registered with SEBI, with Securities and Exchange Board of India, are, you could say that they are relatively safe investments. At least the company wouldn't really run away. And of course, it is subject to market risk. There is always that risk of you losing out money. But at least you can be rest assured that at least that amount is safe, as in the company wouldn't run away. And there are enough systems and processes available in the company which will take care of the safety of your investment. So that's one thing. Now you will say, okay, now how will I understand that SEBI? I mean, what do I really need to see on the SEBI website, whether they are registered? So you can, as I said, you can of course check it on the SEBI website, the name of the company, whether it is registered, whether that product is registered under a particular category. While you are investing anywhere, you ask the person coming to you, okay, tell me your SEBI registration ID. Even if it's that person is a investment advisor, you ask, okay, you say that you are a investment advisor. Tell me what is your registration number, and then you can take that registration number and verify it on the SEBI's website. It is available. You can always check it, cross-check, so that you are clear and sure that the investment is safe, and the person who's coming to you is also genuine person who is authorized to take your investment. So that's a very basic but extremely important thing. Okay. Then the second one is rate of return. Now let's look at how much is a rate of return which is a good rate of return. What's the rate of return that I should say that is at least basic, this much I should get? Or what's the general rate of return that you get now? So for that, I wanted to understand a concept of economics called inflation. Now, what is inflation? Let's understand it in a very simple language. When you put your money in, when you have a 100 rupees note with you, when that 100 rupees note is there with you, what happens? You have the 100 rupees note, keep it in your pocket, in your wallet, and after 1 year, you take out that note and want to spend it. Now, what happens? The value on the note remains the same. It shows 100 rupees, all right. There's no change. But does it have the same value? No, it does not have the same value, because then what happens is the value of the note is not the same. Probably the value could be, say, 5 or 10% less. And now how does that happen? Is because today, say for example, 1 kg of apple is worth rupees 100. Now, exactly 1 year after today, that apple may be costing 1 kg apple may be costing you about 110 rupees. So although the note is 100 rupees, but the value that it can purchase, that 100 rupees is gone down. Now that has, the value has, gone down by 10%. So 10 rupee value has lessened. So the value actually of that note is 90 rupees. So this is called inflation, rate of inflation that is there. And you'll see that rate of inflation is always increasing in last so many years. There had been a time a few years back where there was this rate of inflation was going very, very fast. Sometimes it was in the double digits, also, more than 10%. So when we say, oh, everything is becoming expensive, at the same time, we forget that we haven't been able to manage that. So now let's understand, while we've understood the concept of inflation, let's now understand how much rate of return we should get on our investment. So we should get return on our investment minimum of more than or at least equal to the rate of inflation. Otherwise, what happens is you are actually losing out on your investment, on your money. Even by putting it in a bank, sometimes you lose out. Now, as I explained you, if you put the money in your under your pillow or in your pocket, you the value of your note has decreased, value of your money has decreased. But many of you may not be even aware that this value actually decreases even as you put your money in the bank account. Now, how does that happen? When you put your money in the bank account, how much is the rate of interest you get? Normally 3.5% and a 4% maximum, right? On a saving account. And you would see that always this inflation is minimum 6%, 5.5%, 6.5%, 7% also sometimes. So now just imagine you are getting 4% from your bank as a rate of interest, and rate of inflation is 6%. So actually your value of your investment has decreased by 2%, because there's a gap between the real value of money, right? Because the inflation is 6% and your rate of interest is 4%. So whereas it may look like, okay, you put 100 rupees in your bank and you are having 104 rupees at the end of a year, but actually the value of that should have been minimum 100 rupees to at least reach the base value of your amount, of your investment, right? So that is an extremely important thing which we normally forget. Now, what do we think? We normally think, oh, no, I want to put this money in the bank because it is safe. Is it really safe in the bank account is also part of discussion. Because as you all of know, so far, of course, it is subject to amendment in the Act, but so far, every person has insurance, deposit insurance of 1 lakh per person. Now, if you have 2 lakh rupees in your bank, and if something happens in the bank, if the bank goes bust, you will get 1 lakh rupees maximum, right? And this is maximum, I'm saying. If you have 50,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, you'll get only 10,000 rupees, not more than that. So, and even if you say, okay, I'll have this amount spread out in different accounts, no, it doesn't make any difference. Per person, 1 lakh is the norm. Whether you have 1 account or 10 accounts or 10 bank accounts, it doesn't make difference. So, and you also must have seen there have been occasions where people have lost their money because the bank has gone dry. There have been some issues with the bank. So that really isn't totally safe. I would agree with you that this is relatively safe. This is relatively safe. But then at the cost of what? At the cost of losing out on the value of your, right? So that's the point. And therefore, what we need to do is we should move from saving to investing. Because unless we invest, we can't beat the inflation, rate of inflation, right? So at least it should be at the rate of inflation to really get the value of your money. So that was the second point. The third point is extremely important, and that is liquidity. Now, what is liquidity? Liquidity is nothing, it's a very simple concept, which means you get your money whenever you really require it. Now, there can be an occasion where I'll tell you, okay, I'll give you good rate of return also, and it is safe also relatively, but your money is locked up for 10 years. Now imagine in those 10 years, if you really have a need of that money, and you're not able to get that money from, from your own investment, that doesn't serve your purpose, right? Because then what happens is you are actually have to go in the market and buy or take a loan from the market or from the bank or from any financial institution to fulfill your financial need. Now, what happens in that? Now, that bank will give you loan, even if they will give you, they'll ask for some collateral. If not, they will, even if they are giving you some personal loan, that also wouldn't help, because then there'll be a problem. They'll say, okay, this is a personal loan, so rate of return will be, rate of interest charged by the bank will be very, very high. So whereas you are getting some return on your investment, but you are not getting your own money to use it when you require. And this is extremely important, whether you can break your investment when you would need it or under some terms and conditions. It is also important that you should be able to take out a part of your investment. So liquidity also would mean, for example, you have invested 1 lakh rupees and you require 50,000 rupees now. In that 50,000, now if that wherever you've invested, if that company says, okay, either you take the full amount or we'll not give you anything, that also doesn't serve any purpose, because even if you're getting your full amount, you don't need it the full amount, and you are losing out then the future returns on the investment. So the ticket size of that investment withdrawal or the liquidity, when you're liquidating that investment, should be there. That option should be there to liquidate that investment part as per your requirement. Right? So these are the 3 important things. I'll repeat it just for the sake of you. These 3 points. One thing is the safety, then there's rate of return, and then there is liquidity. So these are the 3 points that you should always have in mind. Now the next one is about the diversification. Now, what is diversification? Many of you have heard a phrase where they say, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. What does that mean? It means that don't put all your investment, in our context, don't put all your investment in one product or a similar product. Now, what happens because of that is you may lose out on your investment, on your money, if that investment goes bad. Now, this is even if I am saying, even if you have to, you've got the experience where people say, oh, no, I have got this investment, but this is doing extremely good. But still, I will suggest to have it spread out your investment. Now, I'll give you a very, very simple example of your life, related to your life. When you go out of your house and when you carry some cash with you for your tickets or for some expense, what do? You don't put all your money in the same pocket. You put some money in the left pocket, some in the right pocket, right? So you spread it out. Why do you do that? You do that because you are clear that just in case, if money from my one pocket falls or something like that happens, then there will be, I will lose out the full money, and I may not have even money to go home. So what we do is we spread out the money. So we actually do this in our day-to-day life. But when we talk about the financial arrangement and financial planning, we don't do that. We think, no, this investment is going good, so I don't want to, I don't want to do anything about it. Let all my money be there. No, that's not a good idea, right? So always have these three earlier points that I've told you, and this diversification. Don't keep all your eggs in the same basket, right? Or don't keep all your apples in the same basket. So now we've understood the basic fundamentals of finance. Now, let's talk about the different products that we have. Now, as I said, there are different products in the market of investment. All of you now are aware that it is important to invest your money, right? And your normally investment grows more than your inflation rate. Why? Because the underlying of your investment is related to the economy. Now, if economy is growing, generally your investment will also grow, and that should be enough. And of course, unless there is a big crisis in India or in the world, of course, this is subject to those kind of risks. All right. So let's now quickly talk about some of the products that are available in the market. Number one, let's talk about the shares. Now, shares are of two kinds. Share market actually you can divide it in two segments. One is primary, the second one is secondary. What is primary market? Primary market is where you get new shares. When a company issues its new shares, you get to buy them from the primary market. And the primary markets include IPOs, FPOs. IPOs is initial public offering. FPOs is follow-on public offer, or offer for sale, where a company, the promoter or the government sometimes dilutes their shareholding in the market. Dilutes means it sells their own shareholding in the share market for public. Okay, so that's the primary market. What is then secondary market? Secondary market is the market where already the shares are there in the market. Okay, and then you can buy those existing shares in the market or sell. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, company wants to raise a new capital from the market. What it will do, it will make new shares and it will sell in the market for investors to buy those shares and then raise the capital. Now, when that happens, we actually have to look at that when we bought the shares, we'll not keep it always with us. Right? We always want to sell those and get the money whenever we require. Remember, we talked about liquidity. So we want to liquidate them. And whenever you require money, so how will you get that? So you sell that shares on the market platform, online market platform generally. Right? So that happens in the secondary market. It's like this. You are, primary market is like Amazon or Flipkart, where you get to buy new products. And secondary market is like OLX or Quicker, right? Where you can sell or buy the existing product. They're not new products, they're existing shares. But the similarity ends there only, otherwise it's not similar. But this is just for your understanding. Right? So this is about the shares. Now, while you invest in the shares, in the share market, you have to be careful about few things. First thing is that you got to know the basics of the share market, how it works, what are the risks, what are the benefits. Benefits though is okay, but basically the risks. What are the risks and where you should stop, and never put your money, which is borrowed money, which is loaned money. Never invest your money in the share market if you are getting that money on interest or in the form of loan. If you have surplus money, then only you start. That's the very, very important thing, because we normally forget. I hear a lot of times people saying, no, no, no. I've heard that this person has got so much of a profit. But if you don't understand, and if you are not able to pick up a good company, you may lose out. Also, that it's a risky proposition. Unless you really understand, don't go for it. And unless you have extra money to spare, don't go. Otherwise, this is a very, very good investment for if you are able to pick up good stocks. You create a huge wealth also in the long run, where I have some examples where people have grown their money many folds in the period of some about 10-15 years or 5-10 years. So considering that, it's a very good investment. It's a very good investment product, but one has to be careful. Now, how do you invest in the share market? So there are 2-3 things that you have to have. One is that you have to have a bank account. That's very basic. Then you have to have a demat account. Then what is demat account? The demat account is the one, it's like, you can say, it's a bank account, kind of a bank account where your shares are kept. It's like an electronic bag where all your shares are kept. That's called a demat account. Then, if you want to trade in the market, you got to have a trading account. What does it do? You want to buy and sell shares. You should be able to trade it. So you have to have a trading account with the broker where you'll transact on that. So these are the 3 things that are required. Now, how you open those accounts? So bank accounts, of course, generally the requirements are the same as are the case with the bank account. Your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, and your photographs are required. And then they will do your KYC, through which they will do a verification also. Sometimes they do in-person verification. Nowadays, they are doing it online also. So they will ask you to sit in front of your camera and hold your PAN card, hold your Aadhaar card in your hand and show it to them. And they'll take your photograph, they will do a video shoot of your verification. So that is how is the process also available nowadays, online process. This has a cost. Now, if you want to have a demat account, you have to pay a certain amount charges as your AMC, annual maintenance charges for that. Now, if you are not having too many tradings or too much investment, I wouldn't recommend you to waste those 200, 300. It depends what is the cost. In different companies, there are different costs. Yearly cost is just unnecessary cost just to maintain that account, demat. I would say don't go for it if you have no plans in the future to trade in the near future, because then it's an additional cost. Now, when you trade in the market, there is always a cost associated to that. How is that? There is a brokerage that has been charged on those wherever you are doing it. Even if you're doing it on your own, on online platforms, there's a brokerage charged for people. So that was about the share market. Then let's talk about another product called mutual funds. So now what does mutual fund do? It collects funds from many lakhs of people, small funds, and then it invests on behalf of you, for which it takes a little bit of a amount of a fees, which is also called as expense ratio, like 1%, 2%, it depends on the fund, but they will charge you some money out of it, some portion from your investment, and that's on your behalf. They will invest on your behalf, and there are procedures and transparency. It's a very good product. You can actually start it from a very low ticket size also. Even if you want to, you can actually start it from 500 investment. You can invest periodically, you can invest one time, whenever you want to. And the most important thing is, there is no additional cost associated with this mutual fund investment for maintaining your account. Unlike the demat or the broking account or the trading account, there is no additional AMC charged from you. You can keep the investment if you've invested in a mutual fund and that investment is lying in that account. You don't have to pay anything extra to maintain that amount in your investment. You can anytime withdraw your investment. You can at any time invest and withdraw. There are different ways like SIP, systematic investment plan, through which it's like an EMI. It's like a positive EMI, I would say. EMI it goes towards building your wealth. Then you can withdraw it also whenever you want to in a systematic way, which is called SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. Now, for example, I have invested some money and I don't want the full amount right now, but I want some regular amount from my own investment every month. So you can do that. There are all kinds of different kinds of products available in the mutual fund itself. Like there are a lot of mutual fund companies or mutual fund schemes which invest in equity in share market or in the bond market or combination of those, or in a particular theme of market like real estate, or even commodities like gold. There are gold funds also. Even internationally, you can invest through mutual funds and different products. Then it is also tax effective. Now, if you are investing in an equity fund or in a balanced fund, mutual fund, after 1 year, the investment is tax free. If you maintain that for a year, then the profit made on that investment is for free. At the same time, there is another product called ELSS, Equity Linked Savings Scheme. What happens in this is, under ATC, you can actually invest, and you can also invest in the monthly, this SIP format I told you about. You can invest monthly also, whichever way is comfortable to you. And you can claim that under ATC for that particular year. Just like insurance or other things that we claim. So similarly, you can, in that limit only, you can invest. Now, what is the advantage of this? First and foremost is, compared to all the other FDs and tax saving FDs and different kinds of products, the lock-in period for this investment is the least. It is just 3 years. Then since it is market linked, and if the market goes up, your investment is also growing more than any, because this tax saving FDs, you will have a fixed rate of interest. interest. But here, your investment can really grow faster with the market. You can keep that investment lying in the fund. You don't have to withdraw after 3 years. You can keep it pending there and make a good corpus. And whenever after 3 years, you can withdraw it at any time. There is no issue. Then it becomes like any normal investment, where you can, just like a normal investment. Then again, it is even further tax effective because your tax saving FDs, for example, the interest on them is not tax free totally. But here, whatever is your rate of return is totally tax free for you in your hand. So this is also very, very useful. So mutual fund is such a big topic. Probably I could take a single session on the mutual fund. It is so vast and so big and probably so useful. Now, how to invest in mutual fund is very, very simple. You have to have a bank account, and that's all. You can open your mutual fund account with any companies, any mutual fund platforms also, or with the mutual fund company directly online. Everything is online. You can do your online KYC and start investing, and you can withdraw it also online. So this is very easy also, right? So this was about mutual fund, and now let me quickly run through about few things. One thing is the gold investment. Now, should we invest in gold? Now, it's a very tricky question because we in India, we always think that no, we should invest in gold because gold is always useful in our time of need. Just imagine it this way. When we buy gold, we don't buy gold as it is. We buy gold ornaments, jewelry. What happens is when we do that, we actually lose out on the value because we give them a making charge. Then we give them the gold is also diluted while making the jewelry because they have to put some other metals also. Pure gold you can't. Apart from that, once you bought that gold, you have to keep it at home. It's a risky thing. Keeping it home also. So you'll sometimes have a services of your bank locker services. There you have to pay the yearly cost for that. Considering all this, imagine it this way. How about all these issues are taken care of and are not there, and still you are able to invest in gold? So there's a smarter way to invest in gold. So how's that? Is you can buy gold ETF. ETF means exchange traded funds. So when you do that, what happens is the ticket size is less. Means you can actually buy it 500 1,000 rupees gold also. Otherwise, a real physical gold, you can't buy it for 1,000 rupees, right? You'll at least have to buy 1 gram or half gram. So here you can buy it on a small ticket size. There is no risk because it is online for you. Your gold is safe over there. Whenever you want to buy the physical gold from that virtual gold, you can buy it. You can just redeem quickly, just sell out it online, sell your gold investment that way, and buy a physical gold if you want to, or you can use it for other purposes. Whereas if you actually have a physical gold, you can't quickly sell it. You have to go to a jeweler and sell it, and then he'll say, no, I'll give you only this much, and all of that is there. Apart from that, as I was talking about the partly liquidation part. Now, for example, you have a 10 grams of gold chain, say for example, and that gold chain you want to say, but you want to have just 10,000 rupees. What you do? You can't sell your part of your chain. You have to either sell it at whole, or you have to have it you don't sell. But in this case, you can actually sell part of your investment whenever you wish. And it's online, it's very good. You can also buy gold mutual funds, which will also give you more or less the same job, do a same job, right? Sorry. So, consider before buying a physical gold, unless you really require it for your usage. If you want it for usage, that's a different thing. Then it's not an investment, it's for your use, right? For example, when we buy a mobile phone, it is for our use. We don't call it as an investment. Of course, in other ways we call it, but it's not a real investment, right? Same is the case with your homes. When we buy flat, we say, no, no, this is an investment. But if you're staying in that house, you're using it. It is for your expense, it's for your usage, not as an investment. If you are buying it as an investment, just think about whether it is liquid, whether it is safe. Of course, it is relatively safe real estate. But issue. Then before I take up your answer, what you should do if you, in spite of being careful, you are fooled by somebody in the investment market while you are invested, there is some problem and nobody is listening to you, how you should go about it. Or if somebody denies to you opening of account on account of you being visually challenged, how you do it, how you go about it. So there is a very proper way of getting your complaints addressed. That's one way is, of course, you can send a letter to SEBI and get it addressed. Or you can write an email to SEBI on sebi@sebi.gov.in. But there is a better way to do it. And that is register your complaint on a platform called scores.gov.in. I will spell that www.scores.gov.in. Scores.gov.in. Now, what happens here here you have to register your complaint if there's anything that you have and get it addressed. This gets addressed in a very, very time-bound manner. You also get to know what is happening to your complaint, where it is pending, what has happened to it. You get to know that also. And if you're not satisfied with the resolution of your complaint, you can make an appeal on the same platform. You can also attach your relevant documents. If there are any proofs, you can just take a picture or scan it and upload it along with the complaint. So you have to create your user ID and password and put it online. So this is the way to go about it. So the important thing is, whatever I tell you will not be useful unless you actually start investing, start using. Otherwise, it is of not much of a use, because then you'll always keep thinking about it and not really start it. Be careful. Always ask questions. Whoever is telling you any great promises investment wise, if somebody is making you, don't just trust them blindly. Check it, double check it, and then if you're satisfied, then only invest. Don't be in a hurry to invest, right? So that's all from my side, what I wanted to deliver to you. Now, Venkatesh, can we open up for question and answers?
Yeah, sure. One of our teammates will lead the Q&A session. Yeah, Mahesh, over to you.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you, sir. Thank you for valuable share. Yeah, we will go for question and answer session now. So, guys, if you are interested to ask questions, please raise your hand. Then only I will unmute you. Please raise your hand. Then I can allow you to unmute. So we will pick some questions in chat.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Go ahead.
Tell me your name and then ask your question.
Let me ask question.
You want to ask question?
Yes, sir. I want to ask that about a mutual fund app name as Covera. Is it trustable? Covera and Upstocks.
Okay. Upstocks is an upcoming website. It's a fairly new app, and I have heard a lot about it. But yes, if it is to answer your question, yes, the app is valid. It is a registered company with SEBI, so that way there is no problem.
And Covera?
Covera, I haven't used it myself. I haven't checked it, but uh, I'll give you my email ID. If you just ask me that question on my email, I'll be able to answer that. I'll check that and answer you.
Okay. So, sir, I want if a bank refused me to give me debit card as a visually impaired, so I can raise my complaint on scores.gov.in as you said.
No. So here, if your bank is refusing you to open a account or give you debit card, then you cannot raise your complaint on courts.gov.in. Of course, if you want, you can do that, but it will not be addressed by SEBI. We will mostly forward it on to RBI. But the better way to raise your complaint in that case is to approach RBI. And on
Okay.
RBI website, uh, there is a column for Bank Ombudsman, RBI Ombudsman. And there are emails and phone number is also given, and address is also given of ombudsman in your area. And you can raise your complaint to them. It is a fairly faster way, and it's a very good way to raise your complaint with RBI.
Okay, one last thing I want to say. Actually, I really enjoyed your web session. You explained in a very easy and simpler language, and actually your knowledge has enlightened me a lot about stocks and mutual funds. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We'll go for another question.
Yes.
Yeah, 8642. There is a number.
8642, yeah.
Please unmute and
8642, unmute yourself and ask your question.
are you there? 8642.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
8642 mobile number. Please unmute yourself and raise your query.
Yeah, now he is
Yeah,
able to speak.
sir, first of all, I'm very thankful for your webinar, sir. You are a big help in my investment. So, sir, actually about this course.com, when I'm trying to open this Paytm money, it's a zero mutual fund account, but
Yes.
they are saying video verification failed. They are not saying like, and I mean, technically they are not saying you are a visually impaired, but they are saying that video verification failed. So can I forward this to Scores?
So in your case, they took your video verification or they haven't taken only?
They took, sir. There is a 10-second selfie video where you have to tell your name, full name.
Okay. Okay.
So the guideline says you should have a white background and your eyes should be visible, something like that. I mean, in Zerodha also they have like IPV, in-person verification, that same
Yes.
rules. Huh?
Yeah.
So can I forward this? I mean, they are
You
not.
can, but I would, before you do that, I would suggest you to do it maybe once more. You try the video verification. Okay. And see whether it was not on a white. If it was not on a white background, just fulfill those technicalities also what they have asked for, and then
Okay.
definitely you can raise your. But then I think this is more to do with the verification issue. So if it is not verified, then there could be, I mean, scores also may not be able to do much about it. So I would therefore request you to first go for once more try your video
I will
verification.
contact them and I will really try, sir. But I think I have another question.
Yes.
So actually, you know this Robinhood app from USA, they have technical charts we will have for stocks, no sir. When the
Yes.
price is increasing or price action, whatever,
Yes.
the app will tell you like in beeps some way of frequency.
Yeah.
It is very useful. I mean, stocks are risky and all, but it is an option for a visually impaired person. It is an inclusive technology, sir. But in India, unfortunately, we don't have anything like that. I mean, it's a lot to ask, but SEBI should try to like put this option or something. And another one thing, sir. Suppose
So
we have
I'll
Upstocks
answer.
app.
No,
Okay.
I'll answer your this question. So thanks for asking that, raising this issue.
Okay,
See, we are of course trying it. Okay, right now also we're trying it, but the issue is there are not many
Users.
visually challenged people, visually impaired people, investing and raising this accessibility issue. So what happens is, some time back, I also had taken this up. What are those accessible websites or apps? These keep getting updated.
Okay.
And since I am not able to use many of those applications on my own, because how many I will be able to check it on my own?
Yeah.
Unless all of us, all of you also kind of help me in raising these issues that, okay, this app or this website is not accessible, we should take it up with those people. I think I would request all of you also to kind of help me in that and contribute and raise these issues, right? So that we can do something about it. And we are in the plan to do something about it. But since there are not many people investing, we haven't got much of response also from people. And therefore this issue is still pending. But this issue is in our mind.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for information and for your webinar. It's like it's really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you. So we have Rajkumar Santanam, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, Rajkumar, unmute yourself and raise your query. Rajkumar.
Yeah, now he is able to talk.
Hello, can you hear? Hello, can you?
Yes, Rajkumar ji.
Yeah, Rajkumar, please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir. I'm Rajkumar from Tamil Nadu speaking.
Good evening, Rajkumar ji. Boliye, tell me.
Yes, sir. Your ideas of your suggestions for the investments actually, it is very much useful for us, sir. Actually, and my question is, do we have any special schemes for savings, sir, like FD? They are giving 0.5% mostly for the senior citizens.
Yes.
Like that, do we have any saving scheme or any exceptions that would make us though we have such rules, 3 golden rules to invest,
Yes.
it is really hard for me. I have no persons to help me regard this. So if I invest like in a savings like FD, that would be very much easy for me to approach. So can you suggest any of them? Like you said something would come around 10% like that. So what would you suggest that would be best for approaching and secured, sir?
Okay. So to answer your first part of your question, is there any special scheme for disabled people,
Differently. Yes.
differently able people for investing? So there is no specific scheme for that purpose. Especially in the investment side, there is nothing like that. But to answer your second part of it, what you're saying is FD and those things are easy, you are saying. But I will say, since you haven't tried the... Sorry?
It's more reliable, sir, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think so. I don't agree with that fully, because even if you invest, I mean, I'm not talking about directly investing in the share market, but if you are investing in the mutual fund, it is reliable. It is
Yes.
definitely reliable, and it is transparent also, and it is easy to track, easy to use. In fact, every day you can watch how much is there any change in your investment value. So it is also easy. You can every day you can track it. You can always invest whenever you want to, withdraw it whenever you want to. So I would say even this is easy. I would, in that
So
sense, you don't want
can you
to take.
suggest few of them, sir? Please.
Uh, so see, I'll tell you, it keeps changing. Therefore, I want to tell you that you can always go on this. If you go on Google and check it, uh, Value Research Online. Okay, there is a website called Value Research Online. If you
Yes,
go
sir.
there, you will find good, which are the good schemes, because it keeps changing, right? So you can go on that website, check it, and invest in 5-star or 4-star mutual fund schemes as per your requirement. And you can then invest. You can invest in whichever platform you are using. You can always invest online also. Right?
Yes, sir.
So
Once again,
once you
website, sir.
start using it, it will be easy. Sorry?
Once again, can you tell me the website, sir? Tell us
Yeah,
the
the
website.
website is Value Research Online.
Value Research Online.
Yeah, Value Research Online.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so does that answer your question, Rajkumarji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Next question is from Mr. Karthik. Karthik ji, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul. Hi, this is Karthik from Hyderabad. How are you doing
Hi,
today?
Karthik. I'm doing good, thank you.
I have a question on the intraday trading. Do you suggest intraday trading for people with vision impairment, especially commodities like maybe crude, any of such?
See, now talking about intraday, there is technically no problem in doing intraday trading for visually challenged people. There is no problem in that. If the platform is accessible and if you can do it, there is no issue. There is no additional problem. But there is an inherent problem in intraday, and that is if you're not really comfortable in using the platform, or if you're not very well versed with the risks and the knowledge about the intraday trading, then I wouldn't suggest, not only for visually challenged, but for anyone to trade in the intraday segment, because it is higher risk proposition.
But
So,
in case if I, sorry
yeah.
on that.
Yes,
Go ahead,
yes,
sorry
go
on
ahead.
that.
So if you are ready to take that risk, there's no problem.
Okay, but in case if I want to undergo certain training or adapt some tips and tricks towards it, what is the best platform that I can use?
Actually, going forward, even I am planning to conduct such those kind of basic programs for people.
Okay.
But it is normally you can actually search it on Google. You got to understand the basic fundamental things in the market. I don't know which is a good. There are many such programs available in the market online also. There are many of those programs available. But what happens, Karthik, really is in these programs is many of these programs, they have inherent interest, vested interest in you doing that program. Now, if you do a program with a particular company, that company may have trading interest. That company may want to do trade in a particular way. So I don't know whether the views given in those programs are balanced or in their research reports are balanced. I'm not sure about that. So I will suggest later on to do your own research also to really verify.
Okay. Lastly, I want to ask you if the currency forex trading is available with us in India. If so, where can we what platform can we take a look on it?
Yeah, currency platform. There are some apps available. You can try those. Unfortunately, I haven't tried any of them, currency trading platforms. But if it is accessible, you can definitely use them. But again, the issue there is that I'm not sure whether it is available with a small ticket size, like a very small amount, whether you can trade or not. I'm not clear on that. But if it is, then yeah, why not? You can definitely try your luck on that.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for answering.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, now we have Vidya.
Next question from Vidya Y. Vidya ji, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, Vidya, unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Vidya, unmute yourself. I have requested you to unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Vidya, I can hear you. Please go ahead with your question.
So, sir, I'm a beginner to investing, and I had this huge problem with my bank getting the mandate for systematic investment, and now the issue is sorted. But my question was that, when you want someone to check your, say, portfolio, first I thought I'll just start with mutual funds for now.
Yeah.
So now I've seen that financial advisors, if I want to take help, so they will tell me things based on not the direct plan, so some regular growth and all that, in which they get commission. So I wanted to know that, are there any platforms or any financial advisors, even for a small fee, if they can give us one-time advice or look at our portfolio and direct us? So do you know of any such platforms?
I don't know of the platforms that will charge you that kind of a fees and gives you service. I'm not sure about that. Of course, there must be many, but as I earlier also said, to know what are the good funds, okay, you can always look at this value research online website, and they have given ratings of different mutual funds. So right now I'm restricting this to mutual funds only. So you can definitely try that, see that on those websites, on that website, and then check it. You can always invest after looking at those. What are the good funds? You can always invest in the direct fund through the those direct fund platform like MFU Online is there. Then there is Zerodha. I think also has direct plans investment. Then there are other platforms also. I think even Paytm has the direct funds you can invest. There is another app called Grow, GROWW. Okay, the spelling is GROWW. So that is also so there are many of those platforms where there's no brokerage, there's no distributor there for any commission there. So you can start, you can look which is a good fund, and then you can start investing through whichever platform you are comfortable with. Only couple of suggestions that I have is, don't use too many platforms. Use, make a one platform, single platform, so that it is easy for you to track your investment. That's one thing. Then also don't take too many funds. Don't invest in too many funds also. Restrict it to maximum 4 or 5 funds as per your requirement, and then start investing. And because it is important to keep your life also simple. If you have too many funds, then it will unnecessarily create complications in your investment portfolio. For tracking also, it will be difficult. Tracking, you can definitely do it on your own on one of those apps also.
Oh, and sir, so if already 1.5 lakh is covered for in PPF or whatever, so does it make sense to take ELSS even beyond that?
Yeah, if you want to invest, like even if you don't require your ATC, that limit, tax saving limit for your ATC, still you can invest in ELSS. But then you have option, of course, that you can either invest in ELSS, but in ELSS there is a 3-year lock-in, right? So because of the lock-in, if you're clear that you wouldn't require that money for 3 years, and if you think that if it is good that it is locked in for some time, so that you don't get tempted to withdraw that money and redeem that investment and withdraw that money. So it will be a good idea. Otherwise, you also have options of investing in the normal funds also. So then it will be as good as a normal fund. In the normal fund, if you invest in any of the balance fund or any equity funds, you have additional advantage that you don't have to have necessarily this investment locked in for any period of time. You can withdraw it the next day also. Of course, there are tax implications, but technically you can do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Vidya. If you need further assistance or if you want a guide, we have started a WhatsApp group. Please join into that and guide our peers, and even you will get help from someone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Vidya.
Yeah, Abhinesh, unmute yourself and ask your question. Abhinesh.
Vinesh. Yeah, Vinesh.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, Vinesh.
Hello, sir. I am Naresh from Hyderabad Advocate. I am.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
sir.
go ahead.
Please go ahead, Vinesh.
I am thankful to you that giving your valuable suggestion. And my question is that, sir, why YouTubers are saying that don't take the margin and leverages? If you take the leverage margin, what will negative will be happens? And till now, I did not intraday. I have invested more than 1 lakh, sir. So if you take the intraday and by taking margin, what would we do?
See, as I said, the intraday trading is anyway riskier than the normal trading. There is no problem if you are aware of the your margin requirement, and if you are ready to take that risk. Of course, when you do your intraday or when you play in the market with the margin, the profits can be higher in some cases, but you may lose out on your money also, because it's like this. If for a share of 100 rupees, if you are paying 10 rupees as your as the margin, and if that goes 10% on the other side, then you may lose out on the whole amount. So it's definitely risky. But if you are pro in it, if you are really doing it very, very regularly, you can consider doing it. You can consider doing it, but I would suggest, if you're not doing it for a long time, then don't go for it, because it's too much of a headache, and you got to really keep tracking it all the time.
And one more question, sir. I have.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
It is related to our profession, sir. I am a advocate working in Union Bank of India as a scale 1 officer.
Okay.
I am advocate, so I am appearing the SEBI scale A group A officer. So can you give any suggestion for that? What have to plan?
So definitely at the end of the program, I will share my email ID. We can get in touch, and I'll definitely we'll have a discussion about it. Sure. I'll be happy to help.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Naresh. Naresh, Arjun, unmute yourself. Arjun.
Right. ఇప్పుడు unmute
Arjun, unmute yourself.
అదే మన రాలేక
Arjun, unmute yourself. I have requested you to unmute yourself. Arjun, are you there?
Probably we can take.
Go for other person, Winky.
Yeah. Dr. Suresh Babu, unmute yourself. I requested you to unmute. Dr. Suresh.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please, sir. Go ahead.
Rahul ji, can you hear me? Good evening. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
No, I think I'm not. Rahul sir is not audible. I think he's.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
please go ahead. Now you're.
Rahul sir, thank you so much for that informative session. It was very nice listening to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is Suresh talking to you from EFLU Hyderabad.
Hi, Suresh.
Hello, sir. Hello. And I just want to know, is there anything, any platform or any investment, it can be your insurance policy or a mutual fund or a fixed deposit that gives us more interest or more benefits for a visually challenged than a sighted person? I just want to know this.
Okay. So as far as the mutual fund or any bank products are concerned, there is no such thing available for us specifically, which will give additional benefit. As far as the insurance is concerned, there are some special insurances by I think some of the public sector insurance companies, as I know. There are those schemes are specially created for disabled persons, so you can check those. I think national insurance probably has had some scheme. I'm not sure right now whether it's active even now, but there are those kind of schemes. But otherwise, investment wise, there's nothing really additional available.
I just want to know, like, see, I have one insurance policy in Shriram Life Insurance, but this is not specifically for persons with visual impairment or disabilities. But can I convert that policy into any other policy that is available for PWD?
That you may be able to do it, considering nowadays we have a portability in the mediclaims. You could probably do that, but you'll have to check that with the insurance company only. Otherwise, what is your purpose of converting in that policy into?
Like, if at all, if there is any benefits.
I don't think so. I think since you already have that policy, I think you can continue that. That I don't think that will help you really substantially.
Okay, sir. Actually, I have some fixed deposits also. I feel that the interest that I've got all these years, though I have invested in FDs, it is very less. Like, is there anything better than the FDs and which is?
Yeah, so you can start investing in mutual funds. That is that will be a better way for you to get better rate of returns. Definitely, generally it is more than your FDs. Definitely.
FDs. But there is nothing.
There is no guarantee, but there is no guarantee 100%. But generally it is more.
Okay, but it's the same for everybody. There is no.
It's the same, yes.
It's the same for everybody.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Suresh.
Yeah, Arjun. Arjun, unmute yourself and ask the question. Sorry.
Venkat, meanwhile, we can go to another question.
Yeah, DB976. I don't know what's his name.
Hello, sir. I am Bhavesh Soni.
Hi, Bhavesh.
Yeah, please, sir.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask about brokerage on
Yes.
on delivery. In SBI, suppose in SBI security, the starting plan is 0.5, matlab 50 paisa.
Okay.
So how it is calculated per one share, or how
No,
0.5
it
will
is
be
calculated per 100 rupees.
per 100 rupees?
Yes.
And sir, is there vast difference between among
Sorry, your voice, I can't hear you.
companies of the delivery? Is
Sir, there is an issue
vast
with your
difference
voice, sir.
of-
Your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking.
Yes, sir. Bhavesh, sir. Yes, your voice.
Yes, is there a vast difference amongst companies of brokerage in terms of delivery charge? If you can hear me.
Yeah, there are yes, there's a range of brokerage in different companies. I think I would advise you to look at the brokerage, compare those with different. Yes, there is a change. There is a difference. There is definitely a difference, and with different companies. But at the same time, you also have to look at what is their service like. Are they is their platform accessible or not? So consider that also. Don't just because yes, but to answer your question, yes, there is a difference.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Next, Krishna Reddy garu. Unmute yourself, sir. Krishna Reddy garu.
Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Hello,
That's
I
okay.
am ready, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Hello. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, I want to ask one question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how can we open demat account and how can we invest in share market, sir? Here, is there any, what is the process? Then,
So to open the
sir.
bank, to open your demat account is a very similar process to opening your demat account to your bank account.
Sir, where it will be open, sir, and we have approach to whom, sir?
Okay, so you can actually go to any broker and ask them or any what we call it as DP, depository participant. So there are many brokers who will also help you. In fact, a lot of banks also will help you in opening your demat account. Many of these banks also have that product of bank demat account with them. You can approach them, or you can definitely approach a lot of these brokers also. They'll definitely
Sir,
help you in opening your.
how much of money we have to invest? How much of money to take the open the demat account, sir?
So there may not be any requirement of money in minimum money required to be invested or anything. But if you do not want to invest regularly in a big way, then I will suggest you don't open demat account. Open just some mutual fund, good mutual fund. Take a mutual fund and you start investing in that. Because here this demat account will have cost every year or quarterly, whatever. It will involve a lot.
Then what is the appropriate, what is the suitable mutual funds company, sir? Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Sir, what is a suitable, correct in mutual fund company, sir?
Sorry, come again.
What is a good mutual fund company?
See, there are normally all the mutual fund companies are good. You have to look at what is your requirement, and for that, as I said, you can go to moneycontrol.com, or you can go to valueresearchonline.com.co.in probably, and then you can search whichever is the suitable plan for you. So normally all these mutual funds are equally good, but in terms of performance of their schemes, that you may want to look at which is a good scheme instead of looking at the company.
Okay, sir. Again, one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what is accessible app for visually impaired to trading, sir?
Trading, again, I don't. Do you really want to trade, or you're just asking? Because I would suggest, if you do not want to trade regularly, I would not want you to get into the trading straight away, because it is a risky thing. You will lose money. Somebody will just tell you to trade in something. They'll. So I'll suggest you to not to trade immediately if you have not invested before. Start investing in a good mutual fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Krishna Reddy garu.
Okay.
Your
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Yeah, Veera Kumar, unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, okay. So I have two questions. One is for your session, your lecture was very useful. You have done all the things very nice. Thing is, mutual fund, they are investing for long-term purposes. Like the purchasing house or somewhere. Suppose I am having a limited fund for limited period. So just having it in SB, any fund is available. One question. Second thing is, if they are not I don't think they are collecting any commission from the customer. They are earning. These two questions I want to put you.
So to answer your first question, yes, there are funds which are, you can actually invest in some of the bond funds.
Okay.
Or there are some liquid funds. You can park your money if you want to, put it for short duration and whatever amount that you want to.
Yeah.
You can choose a nice liquid fund, and you can invest in, instead of having it in the SB account.
Yeah.
You can invest in those liquid. Keep your money in the liquid fund. That will give you higher returns than your saving account returns. Yes. And your second question, so the commission is inbuilt in your investment. Now, you wouldn't even come to know. Of course, it is shown, it is declared upfront in the policy document of your mutual fund. Rather, the key information memorandum of your mutual fund scheme. But it's not that they will take a specific commission from that amount. So it doesn't work that way. So you wouldn't come to know that they have already deducted.
Okay. Then what would be the interest in the liquid fund, you said?
It depends, but it will be generally higher than your SB account. It is generally a little higher.
Okay.
At least one.
So it will be vary from institution to institution.
Yes, it may vary, but it won't vary very much, but it will still vary.
Okay. Still vary. Not very, but vary.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sachin Kumar, unmute yourself and ask a question. Sachin.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sachin, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I am very new to this mutual fund and then investment things. So how can I get to know about all those things in detail, and then how can I start investing? By opening demat account or any mutual funds. Then how?
I would request you to start investing in a balanced fund, which is a part of a mutual fund only. I would request you to start from a balanced fund investment, and then take it from there. And you can read a lot of online material also, and start from a small amount, which is fine as per your requirement and your budget, uh, whatever you can spare. Um, but start from mutual fund. And as far as the information is concerned, a lot of information is available online, including there is a lot of information available on SEBI website also. So you can check that website, and you can learn. There are many courses also for investing, rather not for investing, but to gain knowledge in this field in a different areas. So you can join those courses if you are interested. Definitely, all that thing is possible.
Can you mention about the courses, like from which academy we
You
have
can
to?
you can go to NISM,
NISM.
National Institute of Securities Market.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sachin. Yeah, G. Arjun, unmute yourself and ask the question. Arjun.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Arjun.
Yes, Arjun, ask your question.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Arjun, ask your question.
Yeah, sir. Can I ask in Hindi, sir?
Yes, yes.
या सर हमें आजकल LIC में जो है हमारे ब्लाइंड्स के लिए जो है वारंटी नहीं दे रहे, मतलब जो है इंश्योरेंस किसी में अगर कुछ जानवर को एक्सीडेंट हो गए तो भी इन लोगों को जानवर को एक्सीडेंट इंश्योरेंस दे रहे, बट हैंडीकैप्ड के लिए इंश्योरेंस नहीं दे रहे. इसके लिए कुछ कह सकते हैं आप?
हाँ, वो इशू है, मैं जानता हूँ इस इशू के बारे में, और कुछ ना कुछ काम भी चल रहा है ऑलरेडी, इस पे काम चल रहा है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा अभी तक, फिलहाल ऐसा लग रहा है, बिकॉज बहुत सारे लोग तैयार नहीं है, और वो बहुत बड़ा इशू है, मैं जानता हूँ, उसके ऊपर काम करने की अभी जरूरत है, और वो उस पर हम काम कर रहे हैं. अभी कहाँ तक आया है फिलहाल मुझे भी नहीं फिलहाल जानकारी है, ये पिछले कुछ 3-4 महीने से कुछ आगे प्रोग्रेस हुआ नहीं है जहाँ तक है, but issue is real, and we'll definitely we'll try and do something about it.
एंड मेरा दूसरा सवाल ये है सर. हेलो सर.
हाँ, पूछिए.
दूसरा सवाल ये है, हमने LIC जीवन आनंद में एक पॉलिसी लिया हुआ है
जी.
उसमें जो है हमने 1 साल उसका EMI बना हुआ है, मतलब पे किया हुआ है. इसका बाद जो है unfortunately I am unable to pay this, so now it will open or not?
वो कितना पुराना है, क्या है, उसका ग्रेस पीरियड खत्म हो चुका है, वो रिवाइव तो होती है पॉलिसी, लेकिन मुझे बहुत ज्यादा जानकारी नहीं है उस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम के बारे में, कितने दिनों बाद तक वो रिवाइव हो सकता है. तो मैं आपको सजेस्ट करूंगा कि आप एक बार LIC के ऑफिस में जाके उसकी एक बार जानकारी ले लीजिए उनसे, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत ज्यादा जानकारी नहीं है.
जी सर, धन्यवाद. आपका ये लेक्चर बहुत बड़ा हो, बढ़िया दिया हुआ है आपने, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Trinad, unmute yourself. Trinad, unmute yourself. There is a question.
Yeah, can you hear me, Rahul?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for your session. It's very much useful. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is for the mutual funds. Like, what's the best grace period to invest in the start a mutual fund? Like, is there any best time in a year? Like, for example, first, second, or third, any quarter?
No, there is no such best period to invest in the mutual fund. I think the time is as early as possible you should start investing, because invest for a long duration, the results are much better. The returns are way higher than if you delay it. So I would suggest don't wait for a nice time or a good opportunity. Just start investing. Maybe you can start investing in a SIP uh, and start investing. That's the only formula that I use.
Okay, and the other question is about the tax exemption. So, for example, like how many years or days should I invest money on my mutual funds to get a tax free?
No, if you invest in a ELSS mutual fund, equity linked savings scheme mutual fund, then even if you invest on the last day of the year, it is calculated in that year's exemption you can claim under ATC.
You can say like 31st of March or to
Yeah,
31st.
even if it is, whatever date it is, it doesn't make a difference. Only thing is, it will be the amount will be locked for 3 years from the date of investment. So then that investment will be open for withdrawal exactly after 3 years from that date. So there is nothing, there is not not such a requirement of having a minimum number of days in a year.
Yeah. So, my apology. I do have other connecting question. So after 3 years of
Can we? Yeah. So we can actually. You can ask me your questions offline also. I'll give you my email ID also so that we can, because otherwise, I think it'll take. There are other people also wanting to ask the question. But if you have a very quick question, then you can ask. Otherwise,
yeah, that's a quick one.
Yeah.
So after 3 years of unlocking period of withdrawal, can I withdraw small portion if I don't want a full? If I don't want to withdraw full ticket of amount?
No, you can withdraw any portion of it. Not a problem.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Trinath. Yeah, we have a Ganesh Reddy. Unmute yourself and raise a question.
Yeah. Very good evening, sir. Once again, this is Ganesh.
Yes, Ganesh.
So actually, I have one question. Actually, I have two questions. First one, actually, what SEBI regulation says regarding opening of account for persons with visual impairment? Because actually, as per my knowledge, Zerodha has separate form called RD. It's a physical form. If you sign there, you can also do the thumb impression and along with the two witness, then the account will be open. And what about eKYC and all? Like regarding thumb impression, what SEBI exactly says?
See the rules. The fundamental rule that is there is that SEBI has clearly notified that you cannot discriminate if a person is visually challenged. You cannot deny him any services. That is the bottom line that has been given. Now, as far as the procedural part is concerned, different people have different procedures. But fundamentally, the regulation says that you have to give all the available services to even to a blind person. So that is a very clear cut. That thing is very clear there.
Actually, is there any special forms like that official from the SEBI? Like
no, there is no special form recommended, but maybe some people may have done it. But there is no recommendation from SEBI side.
No forms like that. Okay. So actually, I have another doubt. Like BSc and NSC they're running some courses to understand the charts and all. When coming to the point of SEBI, does SEBI has any courses or how a visual impaired can a visual impaired understand charts?
Again, the thing is, I haven't done those courses. Of course, I have done few courses of NSC, BSc. But if you are technically savvy and if you know generally how to read charts, then you should be able to do it. I don't see any specific reason why you should be. But there are no specific courses for any visually challenged.
Okay, I'm not asking visual impaired. Like to read the candlesticks and charts. Like these are the main things for the.
These things are dynamic charts. So if it is accessible, then why not? I'm not sure because I haven't done the trading or I haven't done those courses myself. So I'm not in a position to really exactly tell you. But if you can take this offline later, we can discuss sometime. We can.
Yes,
discuss
I will come. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ganesh. So we'll take a last question from Sham Sundar, and we will go for a next chart questions.
Yes.
Sham Sundar, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, Sham Sundar.
Sir, I have been trading since last 15 years. Is there any concessions provided by BSE or NSE for visually handicapped?
No, there are no specific concessions offered by BSE or NSE to visually handicapped.
And one more thing, which mobile app is accessible to the visually handicapped persons for online trading?
Okay, for online trading, again, I think all the frontline apps are generally accessible. In fact, I would say if you find out an app which is not accessible, please do let me know so that we can take it up with those companies. So I wouldn't be, and it is, even don't want to take names because I'm from SEBI, so I don't want to take a specific name of a, this app is good or this app is not good. But I would say that find out a couple of good apps and tell me, connect with me and tell me if some app is not accessible. We can definitely have a conversation with them and get it accessible.
So many apps are having their own bugs and limitations, which are not permitting us to trade online perfectly. They are late about 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yes, so therefore I'm saying, so let me know if something is not accessible fully, then we will take it up with that company.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you. Bro, Rahul, so it's been almost 5. Shall we take a few questions from a chat box or shall we wind up?
Actually, is it possible that you, is there a way, maybe I'll share my email ID. And so those people who have asked their question in the chat box, maybe they can ask their question again to me on my email. And I will answer the question as I get time. Will that be okay?
Yeah, please put your mail ID in a chat box so people can grab from there and they will
my
raise
email
it.
ID. Somebody can just, one of you can probably type it in the chat box.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Please.
Yeah, so my email ID is rkelapure@gmail.com. I'll spell it RKELAPURE rkelapure@gmail.com. You can connect with me for addressing your question.
Yeah, even reach out to DPWD. We will give Rahul's mail ID if you need.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, bro. It's really glad we have a good session. We almost done a 2 hours, more than 2 hour session.
Yeah.
Still,
Thank
there
you
are
so much.
questions. There are questions.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry because of the time limitation, we have not been able to take all of your questions. But all of your questions are important, and I will try and address those questions. If you connect with me on email, I'll try and address those.
Sure. We will plan another session on the same
area. If
area.
required, we'll do that. That is okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul, once again from a DPWD team.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DPWD team, and thank you all of you who are participating and who asked so many questions. I'm so glad that you are actually taking it on, and I'm sure that you'll start investing at least a little bit, whichever way you have, whichever the kind of resources you have, you depending on that, you start investing. And I'm really glad and happy to be here and
Yeah.
spend these fruitful 2 hours with all of you.
Yeah, bro. Let's turn out microphone to Ganesh Reddy, who will address the last wind up session.
Sure.
Yeah, Ganesh, please.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
Venkatesh,
Ganesh.
and
Yeah.
thank you, Venkatesh, and all the participants. Hope sir, this session is very helpful to many participants. Some people are beginner, and some people have just joined here to clarify those doubts. And I'm very thankful to the on behalf of team. I'm very thankful to the speaker also, sir. Though you are from SEBI, and you clarified many one's doubts, and you explained the things in a normal manner which people can understand and practically explore them very easily. I also inform you to the people, not only this webinar. So we are also planning to set up a financial literacy, a, a WhatsApp group, which is going to be a discussion group on financial knowledge. So I hope you can join there, and we can discuss your queries there. And if you have still any queries, we will discuss with the Rahul sir also, as well as if the things can be sorted out for our level best, then we will be very glad to help you all. And I also inform you to that the next webinar on our 11th webinar on 9th of August, we are going to conduct a new educational policy or national education policy. Don't miss that. You can stay with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, or that is Diksuchi for persons with disability, or you can also mail if you have any queries. That is connect@dpwd.org. connect@dpwd.org. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ganesh. Yeah, so guys, you can interact with the DPWD team. If you want to stay, you can stay back and interact with the team. Team will be there for you for some time here on a Zoom.
So you can interact with us, and you can give us feedbacks and suggestions.
Feedback, whatever you have, whatever thoughts you have.
If you are from YouTube,
you can share with the team.
If you are from YouTube, you can leave your feedback through the comment box.
So Ganesh, my voice is clear now.
Just a minute,
it's clear. Yeah, it's perfect.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Let's stop the YouTube live.
YouTube, shall I stop?
Yeah, stopping already. Just a minute.
Yeah.